I would now like to enter into the core of this workshop for today. As you know, the title is Funding Technology Projects and Startups at International Level. What is the role of business angels and other innovation actors? How does international angel investing work, and why this matter? So the main aim of the workshop is actually to explore how international business angel investing is helping bridge the gap between early stage, in particular deep tech type of projects and tech type of projects, and global success, and look at those that have gone beyond the individual angel investing, or if you like, local group angel investing, but that looked a way of collaborating across states, across countries, and also internationally. We will be also looking at the collaboration between angel investors and platforms and support activities like co-investment funds and crowdfunding platforms, accelerators, and so on and so forth. The focus, as said, will be on digital, deep tech, clean, resource-efficient technologies, bio and medtech, and will feature two presentation sessions, including ecosystem insights. The first session is actually focused on angels and angels network, and the moderator will be Jenny Tooth, Executive Chair of UK Business Angels Associations, while the second session will be looking more at platform and support initiatives, as I said, like co-investment funds and platforms and matchmaking platforms. And this will be moderated by Mary McKenna, the leader of Awaken Angels. Finally, we will have a joint brainstorming session on how to improve international cooperation, moderated by Claire Munk, CEO of Be Angels and a well-known lady in the international angel community. Let me just say that ESIL is a practitioner platform, is focused on nurturing angel investing through learning and practicing. So we really hope that all of you will be learning, practicing, sharing ideas, and hopefully connecting at the end of the workshop. And without further ado, I would like to leave the floor to Jenny Tooth, that will be moderating our first session. Jenny, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Luigi. Apologies, everyone. I have a bit of laryngitis, but I've got some fantastic speakers today, and they are all coming from different parts of the world, which is fantastic for us. And you will be meeting some really wonderful players. I think we can probably move to the first presentation without wasting too much time, because Luigi has very kindly introduced this session, but we're really here to learn from some people who, as we're saying, actively doing it, really putting this into practice. And I have great pleasure in introducing Richard Sudek, who is chair of Angel Syndicate Network. Many of you also may know Richard from Tech Coast Angels in the US. And Joann MacMaster, co-chair of Angel Syndicate Network, another proactive angel in the US. Delighted to have you join us. And I know you're going to jointly present your approach at Angel Syndicate Network. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for the warm introduction. Joann and I are excited to be here today. I'm going to try to share my screen here. Let's see, why am I not getting the different windows? Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's see if we can get into presentation mode, and let's change that. Okay. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Okay. So my name is Richard Sudek. Just a little background. I'm a bootstrap entrepreneur, started a computer consulting company with $250 and bootstrapped that up and sold to SAIC, a big engineering company, in '99. I started angel investing in 2000 with Tech Coast Angels, which is one of probably the largest group in the US. We've invested over 275 million, 500 plus companies, 2.2 billion follow on. So I've been in different leadership roles there, chairman, and still on the board of governors. been involved with the Angel Capital Association, and I've been a Golden Seeds member since 2010. Golden Seeds is the largest woman-based angel group in the U.S. focused on teams with women in the leadership position. So I do coach entrepreneurs. I've coached 2 to IPO, or initial public offering. I have published research on how investors make investment decisions. I did a lot of detailed tracking through Tech Coast Angels initially, and looked at how angels were making those decisions. I've taught entrepreneurship at INSEAD and at Rotterdam School of Management, as well as here in the U.S., and started a very small seed fund, a $24 million seed fund to co-invest with angel groups in Southern California. I've also been Chief Innovation Officer at one of the larger universities in Southern California, where I worked on translating research to the market, so trying to take things out of the lab. And currently, I'm helping build a deep tech accelerator at Los Alamos National Lab. Most of you probably are aware that's where the bomb was built, but they do a lot more. 2/3 of their budget is non-classified. So there we take in startups from across the U.S., space startups, advanced materials, advanced computing, life sciences, energy, etc. And we bring them in for 2 years, provide workshops, connect them to investors, and help them become investable. And so that's an area of great interest to me, and on how we translate research in the lab or deep technology into the market. I'm delighted to have our co-chair of the Angel Syndication Network and Laura with us today. You'll notice there's no photo of me. There is a photo of Laura and Joann. I've been told I have a face for radio, so I did not include that, but I'm delighted to hand it over for a moment to Joann.
Well, thank you, Richard. My name is Joann MacMaster. I'm the co-chair of the Angel Syndication Network. I also serve on the board of directors for the Angel Capital Association. Like Richard, I am a tech founder turned angel investor, and I, until a few months ago, led the Desert Angels, which is one of the most active angel groups here in the US. Interesting, my first startup that was funded by angel investors and my first angel investment were both done in the UK. I've been in the US now for 20 years. So I really, from that experience, learned a deep appreciation of angel investing and the activities that we can do to move tech startups forward. And the last few years, I've been focused on tech commercialization and moving research out of the university and getting it funded. But now, of course, my most pleasurable time is with Richard and Laura leading the syndication efforts for ASN. Thanks, Richard.
Laura?
Morning, everyone. I'm Laura Beken. I work with Richard and Joann on ASN. I'm also a director at TCA, so I play 2 roles. At TCA, I am responsible for syndication and our portfolio companies. And it's on my own background, I come from healthcare. I was running Medical Intelligence and Innovation Institute at a pediatric hospital in the United States. So healthcare is my space. I have a healthcare MBA. I've known Richard back then. And together we run the Angel Syndication Network. And then later I will talk about the Medical Monday Syndicate, which I started 3 years ago, focused specifically on health tech.
Thanks, Laura. Well, let me just share a little history of the Angel Syndication Network, or what we call ASN. So I was chairman of Tech Coast Angels back in the 2010 area, and I was concerned about what we say in the U.S., the angel groups going the way of the railroad and really being disconnected and anticipating change. And so when we were doing angel investing in the 2000 to 2010 range, we tended to invest local. If you can't drive to it, what's the saying? Then we don't invest in it. And I thought that this was a short-sighted approach for the future, and wanted to learn how to syndicate and work with other angel groups. There's hundreds of angel groups, of course, in the U.S., and there's lots of deal flow and different types of deals across our local area, let alone across the U.S. So what we did is we started to work with other groups That's grown into a large number of groups, over 50. This syndication network has no government funding. We do quarterly education sessions. We are all volunteers except for Laura. Laura is a paid staff member, a part-time staff member for this effort. But this is really a volunteer effort to share deals and help deals get funded. Originally, we started this with a phone call to discuss sharing deals, and we found that that was not very effective for a number of reasons, but one, whoever was on the phone could either help promote or did a poor job of promoting a deal. And we realized that we needed to expose the deals directly to the groups. Originally, we would put all the documentation on platforms and share all the due diligence, etc. We realized that that was creating a lot of overhead and really wasted time and money. So we went to a model that basically we screen these deals every month on Zoom, typically 3 deals a month. And we basically connect anyone interested in a group or individual investor to the deal lead from that deal. Now, what's a little different about our approach is that we don't take entrepreneurs in directly. So, for instance, if for a deal to come to the syndication network, you have to go through one of our groups, and the group nominates you to be on the platform. So we don't take deals in directly. We simply work with our angel groups. Originally, we did have treaties with these groups, so we wouldn't sue each other, and we lessened that and really just moved to a disclaimer that you're taking these deals on your own and at your own risk as far as due diligence and how you decide to move ahead. This is a screenshot of a number of the different angel groups here in the U.S. that are part of this. These are mostly in the western part of the U.S., but not only in the West. That's where we sort of started. We started a little more geographically close to California, and that was our approach. So there are more Western groups. We wanted to make it clear that ASN does not negotiate the deal. We don't screen the deal before it comes in, or we do not set the terms. So in other words, a deal comes into a group, and Joann's going to go over some of those parameters that then allows it to be nominated to go to the screening process, the syndication screening process. Again, the intent was for us to be able to round out deals. At 10th Coast Angels, we've done deals around as large as $3 million. Most of our deals are $500,000 to $1 million. But some smaller groups have a more difficult time doing deals, say, around over $1 million. So the idea here was to fill out rounds, to share deal flow, and also share expertise. So it's not just about the deals moving across the groups. It's also about including other angels from other areas that might have expertise in these particular sectors where the industries that the deals are in. So let me go ahead and transition to Joann to talk a little more about the details.
Thanks, Richard. So yeah, just talking a little bit about the structure, just to reiterate what Richard said, we are not a separate entity, but instead a collaboration among angel networks around the country, and realizing and recognizing that every angel group, and even across the country in the US, has a different process. Our goal is really to facilitate the groups and then honor and respect the process that they have in place. This helps expedite the process. So as groups come together on the monthly call, they hear a company present, and at the end of the presentation, Laura conducts a survey for interest. So groups that are interested to learn more about the deal can connect directly with the deal lead or with the CEO or the presenter to take the next steps. And in many cases, that helps expedite the process. So they may not go through the entire screening process again, but some groups may. So our goal is to respect that and help facilitate the process of just the connection to the company. From the business model perspective, we have 2 kinds of members. We have nominating members and non-nominating members. Most of our members are angel groups, although we do have individuals. Nominating members are those angel groups or investment groups that have the ability to present a company or nominate a company for consideration. They pay an annual fee, and that's $400. The non-nominating groups do not pay. So anybody that is an accredited investor and part of an angel group is welcome to participate. And it's expanded beyond just angel groups. We now have family offices and venture funds and some other partners in the network as well. So it's a great opportunity for them to see a little bit advanced deals. All of the companies that are nominated have due diligence, and I'll talk about the criteria in just a second. It is important just to mention, again, what Richard said. This is a great opportunity, especially for smaller groups, to have access to deals across the country that they may not otherwise have seen. It helps the company close out their round potentially more quickly, and it helps the nominating angel group syndicate the deal. So they're working with other angel groups, and often the due diligence that's presented may be enough, but the other groups may require some additional gap diligence. So there's an opportunity for further collaboration and for next stage funding for the founding company. Next slide.
Just to interrupt slightly, Joann, we will need to wrap up very shortly so we can hear from Lauren.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
All right, so briefly, the deal criteria: a company needs to be nominated by nominating member, come with due diligence, have a completed term sheet, and 25% or more of the round needs to be committed, especially if it's $1 million round. Larger rounds are on a case-by-case basis. The nominating group will have been committed at least $100,000, and there's still enough left in the round for the other groups to participate. Next slide, Richard. This is an area of challenge for us in terms of tracking data. A follow-on funding as a result from ASN, but we're getting better at it. So you can see on the number here, last year, just over $4 million was raised in an effort from the ASN presentations. And I think Laura said we've got about 70 companies that have been funded through this process so far for the last 10 years or so. Next slide. Just a really quick thought about where we're going in the future. We have launched a new program called Trending Thursdays that allows our groups to see very early stage deals. These don't necessarily come with due diligence. They may not be as vetted. There are some challenges with this because our network really wants to see the more established deals. They want to see the due diligence completed. They're looking for those more sophisticated opportunities. And that takes me to my last slide, Richard, which is why groups join ASN. I've put a couple of notes up here, but in respect of the time, we actually have 2 angel networks on the call, and maybe if they could each have 30 seconds to a minute to talk about who they are and why they are part of ASN, that would be helpful. And that is Anthony Ledich, who is the managing director of the Angel Roundtable, and Mike Eckert, who is the chairman of the Gulf South Angels. So Anthony, do you want to go first?
Sorry, we will just be really quick. Just intro yourselves, and then
thank you.
Connect. Thank you. Okay.
Right. So I'm not sure if they're able to hop in, but we just had to.
I would say,
yep.
I would say if they would like to put their email link or anything in the chat or anything else about themselves, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
So no, thank you very much. That was absolutely really fascinating approach. Thank you. Laura, over to you. Laura and Medical Mondays, I think we're talking about now.
Okay, correct. Thank you so much, Jenny. And do we have the slides still there?
Yes.
Okay.
You should be able to see it.
For some reason, I don't see them, but I have them in front of me, so I will try flying blind a little bit. So the easiest way for me to talk about Medical Monday is really compare and contrast it to what we do at ASN, because again, I'm involved with ASN just as much as I'm involved with Medical Mondays. The rationale for Medical Mondays was slightly different. I started it in 2022. So it's been around for 3 years. And the idea was to really have investors collaborate with hospitals when looking at healthcare deals. That was the original idea. We have 3 hospitals that were original founding members, so to speak. And In the 3 years that we've met, our investor base grew much larger. So right now it is a syndicate that is primarily investors. The difference is obviously only healthcare deals. And we'll look at anything from therapeutics to medical devices to digital health. The structure is slightly different. So let me talk about the business model. Instead of having groups, participating groups pay or startups pay or someone else fund it, we made a collaboration with SBDC centers. So that's small business development centers. I know they don't exist in Europe, but they're funded by federal and state money. Their goal is to help startups. So that was a natural synergy. They were willing to sponsor the collaboration. So at this point, no one pays for the collaboration, not investors, not startups. The additional benefit of having that collaboration is SBDCs allocate money for consultants to work with startups. So every startup that comes in front of Medical Monday actually gets fully debriefed as to what the expectations are. They go through their decks. They make sure that everything that the group expects is there. So they're prepared as much as possible. They also get debriefed afterwards. And that's another difference between the Medical Monday and ASN. We have the same structure as far as the pitch goes. So every startup gets 10 minutes to pitch, then there's 10-minute Q&A session. The difference with Medical Mondays is we actually have an immediate 10-minute debrief among investors in hospitals. We also invite anyone to participate in the internal investor debrief who invested in the company. So let's say a startup who has a lead investor can bring that investor to the syndication. They will have that investor sort of advocate for them during the debrief. We found that to be extremely helpful because in 10 minutes, there's only so much you can learn about a startup. So during that debrief is when we do a deeper dive. It's also probably the most enjoyable part of Medical Mondays, and that's why some people say that's their best meeting of the week, is because we don't just listen to pitches and ask questions. During that 10-minute debrief is where all the knowledge sharing is happening. And again, unlike ASN, we have angel groups and we have early VC funds. So that's the difference. We open it up to a larger group. Jenny, you wanted to say something?
Just wanted to say, I hope you don't mind, but we've got about a minute left, Laura.
Thank you. So that internal debrief is probably the biggest benefit for the members because they get to hear from other experts. Healthcare is a very complicated space. So it's not just ability to listen to the startup that's important to our members, but ability to talk to each other and exchange that information. We have a lot of healthcare professionals. We have people who were in the industry, ran hospitals, or they're clinicians. So that 10 minutes for us is priceless. That's why we all meet, we all collaborate, even though we can go to so many other meetings where we can listen to pitches and ask startups questions and pick up the deals. So for the sake of time, I will close it at that. Just wait for questions if someone has them.
Yes, thank you. And just to explain, we'll do a big Q&A session at the end. So we have a great brainstorming part. So thank you. Laura, Joann, and Richard, thank you so much for giving us the US perspective and the innovation that you're all bringing to the table. Thank you very much indeed. Now I have the great pleasure to introduce a very old-standing friend of mine, not old, but very long-standing, Padmaja Ruparel, who is co-founder of the Indian Angel Network and has been working with this global network for many years. Thank you, Padmaja. I think you're on mute.
Thank you, Jenny, and good to see you again. And thank you, ESIL, for having me on this session. Appreciate the opportunity. Can we go to the next slide? I just wanted to present Indian Angel Network. It's a very interesting group because we brought the concept of angel investing to the country here back home in India. And it has become a beacon in some ways of angel investing industry in the country. And this is quite seminal because today, just to give you a little bit of background on what's happening here in the country, India is the fastest growing startup ecosystem in the world. We have about 175,000 startups and growing. Today, as we count, the government has unleashed $15 billion for investing in startups through different modes. Now, all of these are seminal because it just has completely exploded the angel investing scenario. Individuals, family offices, professionals, be that as may, are all investing in this asset class. And for us, where we've seen angel investing non-existent in the country about 18 years ago, to see it feature as an asset class in H&I portfolio, I think we've come a very long way. Next slide, please. So I just want to present the vision which we started with. We wanted to invest in 500 startups with 5,000 crores, which is approximately 700 million US, to create 500,000 jobs. Today, we've invested in 235 startups with about 125 million USD, and we have created approximately 175,000 jobs. Now, these numbers say two things. Entrepreneurship has been unleashed in this country. Domestic money is available, and there is a lot more movement towards science and deep tech startups. Hence, the number of jobs created is lower than what we expected. But I think we're really moving. In IN itself, in our 235 startups, we have created 3 unicorns. We are still holding shares there. Our angels are still holding shares there. 7 Soonicorns, which is soon to be unicorns. And amongst them, 4 companies are going IPO next year. So we have really run the whole startup to IPO by next year, which is a great outcome, again, for a country and for a group that just started less than 2 decades ago. Next slide, please. So we not only brought it to India, but we took it to Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Nepal. And we are now investing. We were investing only in other parts of the world. As Jenny would know, we launched the UK chapter from 10 Downing Street. That's when I had the opportunity of really spending time with you. We launched the Israel chapter with the Honorable Indian Prime Minister. But today, the Indian regulations do not allow us to invest overseas very easily. But our 500 investors, our angel investors, do invest with us from India and 11 other countries, including European investors, British, Singaporean, Australian, from North America, and of course, the Middle East. We are investing actively in emerging sectors. That is the reason you angel invest. So you invest in next sectors, rather the same ones. And we are actively investing in deep tech, biotech, space tech, semiconductors. TRL level 5 onwards is our game, and we are growing. We've done enterprise. India is a very large democracy, 1.4 billion people, probably the most populous country in the world. So consumer is a big, big value creator, and IP models are happening. We are leveraging the GDP growth, which is growing at about 6.5%, and it's really helping us in 2 ways. Number one, industry is open to innovation, therefore piloting, testing, adopting, investing and acquisition, all happening, which is very, very important for startups to become a part of the industry ecosystem. Second is with the government's ability to invest and give grants, I think it's created a huge ecosystem with disposable income from investments from the domestic market itself. I've said Please go ahead. Next slide. So how do we get deal flow? We get about 10,000 deals per annum. Not too many considering the population of the country, but that's still a huge pipeline for us to go through. It's coming through big brand pull. There's a significant deal flow coming, and we have about 20% of those that we invest in, and about 45 to 50% which we can look at. So that's how good the quality is. We bring a lot of money, but we also bring mentorship and market access. And for entrepreneurs, this has become very, very valuable. And they reach out actually for mentoring, and then we convert them and they raise monies with us. We are sitting in the center of the ecosystem purely because we've been there for a long time. We've been part of policy making. We've engaged with every single investor VC in the country. So we get huge references from angels, founders, VCs, family offices. In fact, many of our portfolio founders invest with us. And of course, we collaborate with everybody, incubators, accelerators, but also the government startup arms. The defense has opened up to private investment through IDEX, which is the startup arm. Space opened up about 4 years ago. This was completely closed to private investment, far from even allowing startups to come anywhere near it. Through the InSpace arm. Today, we have 7 space startups sitting in our portfolio. Biotech through the BIRAC, which is their startup arm. And 30% of our capital each year, 30 to 35% goes into BIRAC-focused companies, which is biotech, medtech, pharma, drug discovery, etc. And universities and research parks are completely humming with new startups. Professors are engaged. A lot of changes had to be made in the country. Professors were not allowed to hold equity in startups. All of that has changed. And the management or the board of IEN itself, we are all on several government and startup bodies. I, for example, sit on the board of SIDBI, which is India's sovereign Small Industries Development Bank of India, and has India's sovereign fund of funds, which invests in VCs. I sit on the board of Technology Development Board, where all technology policy making, grants and financing policies and frameworks emanate. And many of us sit on BIRAC, etc. kind of bodies. Today, IEN is at the epicenter of the ecosystem, and we are going deeper and wider. Next slide, please.
1 minute.
I just thought I'll be almost 2 slides, that's it. Just a quick scan of investments and exits, so it gives you a sense of what we've been doing for the last 2 years. We've invested 20 million last year and exited 45 million, obviously in companies which we had invested earlier. This slide gives you the kind of companies we've done and the multiples that we have obtained from exits and partial exits, and we are still holding. Exits have largely been through secondaries by later funds, and M&A started and acquisitions have happened. Credit Suisse from the US acquired a couple of our companies. Just Eat from the UK acquired a company. But now the IPOs are our next exit opportunities that are coming up. Next slide, please. Our business model, we've looked at it from 3 perspectives. One is from the investor perspective, angel fee for just a seat on the table, and then percentage on the investment amount. From entrepreneurs, percentage on the fundraise. And platform, we monetize the platform through sponsorship fees for brand visibility, corporate innovation programs, and government entrepreneurship focused programs so that the government finances our programs. Next slide, please. Beyond and future, we've brought angel investing on an app on our 6-inch device. We have a mobile app for investors, not only to commit, but access their portfolio, get their IRRs, figure out the tax documentation, all documents are on the app. They can download it. We have a tech platform for deal flow curation. There was no way we were going to do 10,000 deals without tech. And we have started leveraging AI in multiple ways. Data analytics, meeting notes, getting investment notes done, all of those and more by AI. Value additive, we've moved towards value additive platform. We help the companies with market access, customer access, build top talent, investor documentation, and most importantly, helping the companies raise their next round, including all legal and tax issues. We focus on diligence and robust governance. We've now launched our post-angel VC fund. We launched our $50 million fund. We are now exiting at a 3.5 and 4x, that's where we are. Last year, we launched a second fund, 125 million. Our future plans, we are launching a family office network. We will be launching a debt fund and a national strategic imperatives fund, aligning with India's national interests, a secondary platform for angel liquidity, and enable the government funding through angel platform for our startups. Next slide, probably the last to say.
Padmaja, we have to stop. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, but I'd like to show the last slide, please. Last slide, please. That's it. That's all I want to do. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we can have plenty more questions in the brainstorming. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I won't be there, unfortunately, Jenny. So
okay,
thank you.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure these details are well known. Thank you very much indeed. Great. Now, I have great pleasure in introducing Hubert Anyżewski, who I had the great pleasure to meet in Poland last year, and who is a very active angel entrepreneur and very much an investor, but also with True Global, another global group. So, Hubert, you might like to tell us a little bit more about how you're approaching this as a global angel. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for opportunity to being here. Guys, just in a few sentences, that's me. There's a QR code if somebody would like to connect with me via LinkedIn or others. Just short information about me. I used to say that I've got two lives. The first life was entrepreneur, 3 exits in Europe, in Central Europe. For over 2.5 decades, I'm connected with the ecosystem of founders, helping them internationally. I was living on 3 continents, and since 2005, I'm doing angel with different experiences, also with some scars, because angel investing is not only successes. You learn from the failures as well, and the statistics are rough. But what I think I can bring to the table is, first of all, the mindset of the entrepreneur and founder in my past life with 3 exits. I built about 7 companies in different jurisdictions. That's the first element. The second element is that I'm doing angel since 2005 as an individual, but also for about over a decade, I'm collaborating with 2 angel groups. One is based in Singapore, high profile people, small group. We don't want to announce ourselves, about 20-ish people. I really love the dynamics in syndicates groups, especially the, let's say, small and middle size. I also established a VC fund. I was a founding partner in Central Europe. I'm also an investor in four VCs in Asia and in Europe. I had this privilege to be alumni in Stanford, from Stanford University, dedicated programs for the GPs. So I'm in a network based in the Valley, but generally global network of the VCs and GPs. I also built an accelerator about 10 years ago, based in Warsaw. We cooperate with 3 countries: UK, Singapore, and Israel, and we support over 200 to 300 founders by cash. Of course, mentorship programs, international knowledge sharing, things like that. It's deep in my heart and DNA for over 2.5 decades. So I think that those perspectives, different perspectives, being an active individual investing directly to the startups, being in a group, syndicates, investing through the syndicates together with friends for a longer time, also being a GP in the VC, and also being an active LP investor in VCs. It's good to mention that we are investing, especially from Singapore, we are investing globally. So we are investing in projects based all over the world. I strongly recommend the True Global Venture family. This is one of the ecosystem where I am an investor, and I really appreciate being there because the insight is great and the network is great. So being involved in those activities, especially because I had this opportunity to be involved in few unicorns and probably few IPOs in next years. I think it gives me some insights, which will be great to share with you, and of course to discuss about them. Directly, I invested in 12 projects, but through the VCs, it will be much more, about, I don't know, 50, something like that, but they are not my investments. I'm an investor in the entities. I'm using my investment vehicles as a person, as an individual in different jurisdictions, also using a leverage of the taxation and different jurisdiction laws. I invest mostly in cutting edge technologies, so AI, digital, blockchain, those kinds of things. But through the industries, future of work, future of finance, and future of medicine, especially medtech. What else I can tell you? In Angel, I had this.
Maybe just 1 minute.
Yes.
Thanks, Hubert. Maybe just one more minute. That'd be great. Thank you.
Sure. I've been so lucky that DPI on my side in angel investing is between 7 to 10. I had been so lucky that in the VC side, it's 3 to 8. I had privilege to be involved in 2 VCs, which are top 1% best VCs globally. So that allows us to have DPI on the level of 8x, and probably will be more, but this is like unseen numbers. So I'm trying to underline that in this space, having like 3x is great. Yes. So can I have another slide?
If you have just one more, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, I have 2 more. So different models, different networks, different deal flows, also 2 decades relationship with university, trying to find great IP rights and to help founders structuring the companies from the universities. Can I have another slide? And this will be the last one. Lesson learned, because I was asked to bring some lessons learned. So there will be plenty of them, and I will be happy to share more insights. But just in a nutshell, investing in groups create value. I really like the dynamics which are in the syndicates. It's much a different beast when you are investing through the VC than when you are in the angel group or if you are investing individually. To be honest, different angel group structures are super interesting, and I really enjoy the energy which is there. Strong network matters. About 70% of the deals is coming from the trusted recommendations. let's be honest, and for the trusted source. Investing is a long-term game, 5 to 10 years, even 7, 10. That will be that will be something that you need to see on your journey. So it's not like a quick flip or something like that. Of course, it will be great to receive the money earlier, but you need to be prepared for a longer journey. Investing in VC looks like more passive. Angel investing should be, from my perspective, more active. I like to be an advisor when I'm investing as an angel. So I want to be close to the founders. So I'm picking cherries and I'm just focusing on few projects and I'm trying to be involved. Cross-border investing is super interesting for me, and it brings diversification. So when you are investing in different parts of the globe, it helps to your portfolio. And please keep in mind that legal and compliance matters because in different jurisdictions, especially on the emerging markets, it's not about any scams or things like that, but generally founders could just not have knowledge and good practice. So
I really must close there, but I'm really great to hear your life as a global investor. Your tips are fantastic, and I'm sure there will be more chance for us to talk with you more in the Q&A brainstorming session. So thank you, Hubert. Great to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now for our final speaker, we have Joann Debets. Some of you may already know Joann, but he's a senior advisor, but has been very much driving forward the Business Angels Europe club, Angel Investor Club, which has been really collaborating very successfully for some time. So over to you, Joann.
Thank you, Jenny.
Just a few minutes, as you'll probably gather. We just have a few minutes.
I know. It's an honor. Do you see my screen well? You hear me? Okay, so fantastic really to speak about the BAE Club. Taking a couple steps back, the BAE Club is a exclusive group with the best performing angel networks in Europe that exchange best practice, networking with peers. We help to internationalize portfolio startups of these various angel groups, and we try to provide market feedback for policymaking. The Business Angels Europe Club is a subgroup of Business Angels Europe, and we've seen two incredibly diverse and large ecosystems represented today with the United States and India. But the difficulty with Europe, of course, is that it's 27 or 28, if you will, different countries, and Business Angels Europe is a layer on top of these countries where we primarily represent the national angel organizations. But next to that, we want to have a separate BAE club with actual regional angel networks that are high performing. And as our BAE club chair is saying, Reginald Vossen, with entrepreneurs and angels being more and more eager to expand internationally from the start, BAE club is the ideal place to create a cross-border launchpad for these stakeholders. So these are the members of the BAE club. We have 20 members from 13 countries, real high-performing angel networks that really can compete in terms of numbers with some of the American counterparts. So our approach really, next to benchmarking and peer-to-peer learning and a little bit of lobbying, we really want to do deal sharing. And the idea is that BAs would be the ideal harbor pilots to scale startups in other ecosystems in Europe. Said we are a group of different countries, so scaling into each new country has new challenges and new opportunities, and we believe next to the financial upside of doing cross-border angel investment, an angel can also support in bringing the knowledge network in a particular ecosystem. So for example, here with Tech Angels Romania, doing a cross-border e-pitch with Business Amsterdam. Now let's do one success story, WineGrid. This is such a lovely story because it really is a true European one. It's a Portuguese Internet of Things deep tech company built to make a more data-driven winemaking process. It is a Portuguese company with a lead investor from Italian Angels for Growth. They pitched for the BAE Club cross-border e-pitch in 2021, and then they raised a round total between 300 and 400K, amongst which 6 business angels from the French business owners Club de Col, which is also a member of the BAE Club, and it also had a partial exit in 2023. So great success story, more of which really is to come, especially because we're moving into the next phase, namely with Europe.
Yeah, and are you able to move to the next slide or your final slide? Just so
So this is really the next phase, what we're all about, really improving and going to the next generation of the BAE Club e-pitch together with Europity and Meta Group in the context of the European early stage investor launchpad funded and supported by the European Commission. So I will leave it at that. This is really exciting. If you're an angel network, really try to be involved with this. If you're a startup founder, be involved with this. This is really the place where the leading angel groups of Europe are coalescing. So I'll leave it at that. I had some slides on the numbers and the totals of investments, but this is really the message I want to close with. So
yes,